That is Bring Back the Time. It's BBC Radio Oxford. It is Tuesday evening, 8 minutes to 6. Sorry, not Tuesday evening, Friday evening. And you know what that means? I know, right? Yeah, I'm getting the shrugged shoulders from Van Connor. He is our movie critic. He comes on every Friday to talk about the new movies that are out this weekend. And it's a bank holiday weekend, so it should be a good one. Good evening, Van.
Good evening, Mr. Ball. And yes, thank God it is in fact Friday, because otherwise, if it were Tuesday, my flight tomorrow would be doomed. I'm hoping to get back. And I'm hoping to get back because I haven't seen the big release for this bank holiday weekend because it's not out in the US until the end of May.
Wow.
So they're not even press showing Downton Abbey: A New Era, which I hear is fantastic. I'm sure everyone is going to see this weekend. When I arrive back on Sunday, will be one of them, rest assured. But until then, we can talk about two other films. We can talk about Casablanca Beats, new movie from Nabil Ayouch, director of Whatever Lola Wants, and the quite buzzy new horror film We're All Going to the World's Fair, which seemed to take over Twitter about 3 weeks ago alongside Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I did get to see and was very, very good. We will talk about it in about 2 weeks. But we'll talk about Casablanca Beats first, which stars Anas Baboussi as a character imaginatively enough named Anas. All the characters in this seem to be named for their actors, so you do get the feel that he's quite a loose, more improvised kind of a structure. Set in Casablanca, funnily enough, hence the clever title. Anas is a former rapper who has become a sort of youthful teacher at a local community college / school, local academy, and basically goes all dangerous minds on it. He starts introducing the kids to hip-hop to try and bring them out of themselves, to try and bolster their confidence, to help them discover who they are and how to verbalize their thoughts and feelings and articulate their emotions. And it turns out that being a former rapper and this being a movie, he's very good at it. But it turns out the local community and the school themselves, not his biggest fans. And before you know it, the spark that he has ignited within this crop of up-and-coming young students does not go down well with either the school or the local community, who start putting protests on around his performances, his sort of concert evenings in which the kids showcase their talents, particularly young female Muslim rappers as well in Morocco. And I'd say he has to deal with the baggage from the school as well. Anas Baboussi in the lead, really, really good in this. We've not got a clip because it's all in French, obviously, and I wouldn't want to hazard a guess as to what percentage of our audience inherently speak French. If I'm honest, it'd be a bit of a gamble, wouldn't it? I think if we just whack some French on there, and we only get like 30% of the audience understand it. That's fine. That's fair enough. We'll have to skip and save the clip for the next one. But so say Anas Baboussi, very good in this, and the crop of kids in there, particularly Miriam Nakash, who plays Miriam because it's that movie. Also my fiance's name, funnily enough. All great performances. Banging playlist, as you can absolutely imagine.
I was about to say the playlist sounds like it's going to be good.
Got to, don't you? With this subject matter, you can't drop the ball on. You can drop the ball on the playlist or something like Guardians of the Galaxy, but if you get it, win. This one, kind of a requirement to get the soundtrack right, and they do. The music and the vibe to it, the energy, the general palpability and the drama, all really there. But I say, all of it kind of hangs for me on that central performance from Anas, but secondary to Miriam as well. Great performances, great characters. The script is quite tight. Doesn't feel patronising in that way that a lot of movies aimed at younger kids do, which I think is going for it.
Okay, so that's out now. And did you watch it dubbed or did you watch it with subs?
Subs, not dubs, baby, every time. But one that I can tell you is also out this weekend. Bit buzzy with this one. We're All Going to the World's Fair, which is kind of a found footage YouTube-style horror film. Stars Anna Cobb in a new movie from Jane Scone Brown. This is about a young girl who takes on an online challenge, almost like The Ring. You know, like watching the movie in The Ring. You watch the VHS type. This is kind of a Candyman-style thing, kind of spin on that. You basically say, we're all going to the World's Fair so many times, and then bad stuff happens. And she obviously tries to document all this, like to camera, to kind of document the effect this has. As you can hear in our clip, not all rainbows and sunshine.
So, you want to join the internet's scariest online horror game? We can't be held responsible for what you become. All you have to do to get started is take the challenge.
I don't know what to expect. I want to go to the World's Fair. I want to go to the World's Fair. I want to go to the World's Fair.
Someone's been using Saw's voice changer.
Well, might be the Riddler from the new Batman, quite possibly.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this sounds like that kind of horror movie, fun, almost horror movie that you'd dive in with some jumpy bits. Is it? Does it live up to that?
I was going into it hoping for that, and this is something more of the cerebral, more abstract variation on the horror, very much aimed at the quote-unquote elevated horror crowd, which seems to be everyone's bread and butter of late. For me, it doesn't quite deliver, and I would have preferred something a bit more pulpy, a bit more popcorny. I think it's a bit too abstract for what it needs to be. Great performance from Anna Cobb, though, and as I say, Jane Scone Brown's direction in there, as a calling card piece, particularly for Scone Brown and Cobb, great. I think it's a film in its own right. I can see why certain people might have latched onto it. Some people have identified with certain elements of it. It is about loneliness and isolation, and I can see how people would draw parallels to themselves in that. Didn't quite work for me, left me quite cold. I think there's not quite enough going on, and I think simply pointing out that, oh, but it's got a lot of neon is not necessarily the same as saying, yeah, but it looked great.
All right. I mean, out of both of those movies, personally, I would choose World Fair. I mean, if you could only watch one of those this weekend, which would you choose?
Me personally, I'm going with Casablanca beats all the way. Because, I mean, hip-hop Dangerous Minds. I mean, Dangerous Minds was already hip-hop. Actual hip-hop Dangerous Minds? I'm in. You got my money, sir.
Oh, excellent. And they're both in the cinemas this weekend, right?
Both in cinemas this weekend. I will be back to see Downton Abbey myself, though. And next week, though, we do get to go a little strange, Mr. Ball, which I am looking forward to.
Cannot wait. I will speak to you next Friday, Van. Have a lovely remainder of your time in the States and safe trip back, all right?
Till the next time, good sir. Have a good one.
Thank you. Right then, let's check in with Will.